Very good morning, students. Welcome you all to my Communicative English class. Today the very topic on which we will be having our discussion is tense, specifically present tense. I believe you all know that there are four segments of present tense. The number one, simple present tense, number two, present continuous tense, number three, present perfect tense, and number four, present perfect continuous tense. Now, how to find out from the verb about the tense, right? We generally or usually we can find out the tense from the verb, right? Okay. So, for our example, we may surely pick up a word, suppose take, right? Now, in the first case, that is simple present tense, it will be the present tense of the verb that is take or T-A-K-E-S, takes, right? Next, the present continuous tense. Herein, how we get out or how we find out that is am, is, are plus verb plus ing, that is am, is, are plus take plus ing. Clear? Next is the present perfect tense. Herein it is have or has plus what it will be? Past participle of the verb, that is past participle of the verb. The verb here is take, so it will be have or has plus T-A-K-E-N, taken. Is that clear? Next is the present perfect continuous tense. It will be have or has plus been plus continuous form of the verb, that is taking. Okay. Continuous form of the verb, that is taking. Is that clear? Up till here, I believe, have you all understood? Is that clear? Okay. Now, the uses of present tense will go with the uses of present tense. Herein, few minutest things we should remember to locate the tenses, right? Initially, we'll start with the simple present tense, then we'll be going with the present continuous tense and so on, right? Okay. So, shall I rub? Okay. Now it is simple present tense. See, few minute things we should remember which will make it more easy for our understanding. That is, where we use the simple present tenses. Number one, that is to express a habitual action. Number one, that is to express a habitual action. For example, can you give me some examples? Okay, let me give you. He drinks tea every morning. Herein, he drinks, that is, herein we are getting, it's a habit. He drinks tea every morning. Drinks is the simple present tense. For another example we may cite, that is, I get up every day at 5 o'clock. I get up every day at 5 o'clock. Clear? Herein the verb is get up. Clear? Okay. Now, for another place where we can find out the usage of simple present tense, where it is for the general truth we use, that is to express the general truth. I'm just rubbing it. Suppose we may say the sun rises in the east, see, are you getting this? Okay. For next example, we may show honey is sweet. Clear? Okay. Now, in another place or in another section, we can also use this sort of simple present tense, where it is in exclamatory sentences beginning with have, beginning with here and there, to express what is actually taking place in the present, right? Okay. Just let me rub off. in exclamatory sentences beginning with here and there to express what is actually taking place in the present. So let me cite some examples. Another we can say, there she goes. Clear? Next, in another place, we may surely use simple present tense, that is, in vivid narratives as a substitute of simple past tense. Okay. Clear? That is, Saurav now rushes forward and deals a heavy blow to Rustam. Saurav now rushes forward and deals a heavy blow to Rustam. Herein, rushes is the verb. Surely we can find out rushes and deals a heavy blow. Clear? Next, that is, for an example, we may cite immediately the Sultan hurries to his capital. Herein, the simple present tense is hurries. Right? Okay. Now, another place wherein we use the simple present tense is to express a future event that is a part of a fixed timetable or fixed program. So let me once again write it down for your better understanding. I am rubbing it off, students. Okay. to express a future event that is a part of a fixed timetable or fixed program. Herein, we may surely cite examples like the next flight is at 7 tomorrow. See, the next clear? The next flight is at 7 tomorrow. The simple present tense is here, is. Now, the train leaves at 9 o'clock, right? Herein, we may jot it down once again. The train leaves at 9 o'clock. See, clear? Once again, there is another segment wherein the use of the simple present tense we can find out. That is, it is used to introduce quotations like to introduce like Kids says, quote unquote, that is within inverted, a thing of beauty is a joy forever. Keats, who is Keats? The famous poet. Keats says, clear? Once again, we may also say it is used, that is simple present tense is used instead of the simple future tense in clauses of the time and condition. So, let us once again write it down over here. It is May I have a chalk? The chalks are all exhausted. It is used instead of a simple future tense in clauses of the time and condition. For example, I shall wait till you finish your lunch. I shall wait till you finish your lunch. See, the clause is I shall wait till you finish your lunch. Clear? Okay. Next is if it rains, we shall get wet. If it rains, we shall get wet. See, simple present tense, rains. In another case, we may surely cite the use of simple present tense, where it is in broadcast commentaries. Many a times we hear radio commentaries or TV commentaries. Herein, the use of simple present tense is found very much. That is, in broadcast commentaries on sporting events, simple present tense is used instead of present continuous tense to describe activities in progress where there is stress on succession of happenings rather than on duration. Shall I repeat once again? In broadcast commentaries on sporting events, simple present tense is used instead of present continuous tense to describe activities in progress where there is stress on the succession of happenings rather than on duration. The next thing, that is, the simple present tense is used instead of present continuous tense with the type of verbs as referred, such as the verbs of perception. What they are? The verbs of perception. Verbs of perception. What are they? What are those words? See, hear, smell, notice, recognize, and so on. Suppose we may write see, hear, smell, notice, recognize, and so on. Clear? These are all simple present tenses. Next, the verbs of appearing. Verbs of appearing. What are they? Appear. Then what it comes? Look, seem, okay. Next comes verb of emotion. Verb of emotion or verbs of emotion. Want, wish, desire, feel. Want, wish, feel, and so on, like love, like, hate, hope, refuse, love, like, hate, hope, and so on. The next is the verb of or verbs of thinking. Verbs of thinking. What are they? Think. And suppose, consider, trust. Suppose, consider, trust, and so on. Right? So, we have covered the simple present tense. In the next session, we will be going to the present continuous tense for its vivid description to you. And I end my lecture over here. Thank you. Have a nice day. I'll be discussing with you the details of present continuous tense, right? Okay. We have completed the simple present tense, and now it will be the present continuous tense. See, it is used for an action going on at the same time, at the time of speaking. It is used for an action going on at the time of speaking. As far as example, we may surely say, she is singing. She is singing. That is singing now. Once again, another example we may show, the boys are playing hockey. The next is for temporary actions which may not be actually happening at the time of speaking. Temporary actions which may not be actually happening at the time of speaking. That is, sometimes we say, I am reading Gitanjali. It might so happen, yes, presently I am reading Gitanjali, but not at this moment. Because to read Gitanjali you need a lot of time. So it is on process, you are reading, yesterday night you have also read, today morning you have also read, presently you are not reading, after going home you might once again sit with that. Okay. Another thing or another place wherein we may surely find the use of the present continuous tense is for an action that has already been arranged to take place in the near future. An action which has already been arranged to take place in the near future. See, for an action that has already been arranged to take place in the near future. For an action that has already been arranged to take place in the near future. Suppose I may say, I am going to the cinema tonight. It will be in the future, but I am using it as a present continuous tense. See, I am going to the cinema tonight. See, the next we may show another example like my uncle is arriving tomorrow. My is see, my uncle is coming tomorrow. My uncle is arriving tomorrow. It will be in the future tense. It is in the future, but the action has been arranged. My uncle is arriving tomorrow. We are using the present continuous tense over here. See, clear? Next comes the present perfect tense. So, may I rub it off? Thank you. The next is the present perfect tense. It is used to indicate completed activities in the immediate past with just. See how it is. Using just, it is used to indicate completed activities in the immediate past using just. For example, he has just gone out. Herein, the perfect tense is just gone. Once again, another example we may show that it has just struck 10. Has struck. Clear? In another case also, we can use the present perfect tense to describe the past action whose time is not given and not definite. In another case, it is to express past actions to express past actions whose time is not given and not definite. For example, we may say, have you read Gitanjali? Have you read Gitanjali? Another example, I have never known him to be angry. Right? In another case, to describe the past events when we think more of their effect in the present than of the action. I repeat, to describe the past event when we think more of their effect in the present than of the action. Let us find out how. to describe the past events when we think more of their effect in the present than of the action. For example, Gopi has eaten all the biscuits. Has eaten. That means there aren't any left for me. Right? The next example. Have finished. I have finished my work. That means now I am free, right? Okay. The next comes to denote an action beginning at the same time in the past and continuing up to the present moment. To denote an action beginning at some time in the past and continuing up to the present moment. Okay, let us find out how. To denote an action beginning at some time in the past and continuing up to the present moment, often with since and for phrases. Let us find out how. Example. I have known him for a long time. See, herein, have known. Next is I. I haven't seen Padma for several months. See, haven't seen. Right? Next is our present perfect continuous tense. Shall I rub it off? Okay. See, the present perfect continuous tense. It is used for an action which began at some time in the past and is still continuing. That means it is used for an action which began at some time in the past and is still continuing, right? For example, we may say, he has been sleeping for 5 hours. He has been sleeping for 5 hours. Has been sleeping and is still sleeping. He has been sleeping for 5 hours. See, the present perfect continuous tense, has been sleeping. Next. They have been building the bridge for several months. They have been building the bridge for have been building. In another case, we also may find out the present use of present perfect continuous tense. That is, for an action already finished, in such cases, the continuity of the activity is emphasized as an explanation of something. Like, we may say, sometimes we say, why are your clothes so wet? And in reply, you say to me, I have been watering the garden for, right? In reply, you say, I have been right? So here we finish the present tense. In our next class, we will be discussing with the past tense. So, thank you students for this session. Have a nice day.